Happy Bathurst Day, everyone. As I upload this hopefully, if I do it right, will be the Sunday of the Great Race. But thankfully, because of YouTube, you can watch this whenever you want to. And I have no idea who is going to be placing where. I'm recording this before the top 10 shootout, so I don't even know who's getting pole. And that's the wonder of sport. There are predicted outcomes, there are obvious favourites, but then there can be those that sneak up from out of nowhere, those that you don't expect to get a good result, but get one. The underdogs, the upsetters, the however else you call them, they aren't meant to be here, but they somehow get there. I'll be listing the top 10 greatest upset podium finishes in the race's history since 1993. Like and subscribe so my cat continues to be this fluffy. Two honourable mentions before I get into the coveted list. The first one being the 2021 combo of Brodie Kostecki and David Russell. Yes, later on in the next 2 years they proved to be favourites, but this year's really set them up to be that. They weren't expected to get third, but they did anyway. And also the 2012 race. Who would have thought that it would be David Reynolds and Dean Canto being the one to try and take out Jamie Whincup and the mighty Triple Eight? Even though they couldn't, he nearly did, finishing second. Number 10 on this list is probably a bit of a surprise for people now, but back then, I'm surprised this probably would be at the top of the list. The Tony Longhurst-Stephen Ellery combination. Now, Tony Longhurst was a veteran at this point, had been doing this for multiple years, even got a win, and he was doing it with his own team, the Castrol Longhurst Racing Squad. But Stephen Ellery, he was a bit of an unknown quantity. He'd only done a handful of starts up until this point and he'd been trusted to do a double stint in this race, but he got through it and they ended up finishing third. Very impressive result from them, and it really set Stephen Ellery up for what was looking to be a good season next season. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case. Number 9, I'm going to go with the combination that sounds good on paper, but at the start of that race, you would have thought that they would be crazy winners. The 1998 combo of Jason Bright and Stephen Richards. In qualifying, they ended up in the wall, qualifying 15. There were many drivers and combos ahead of them that were way more favourited to win the race, including the Mark Scaife and Craig Lowndes combination, who led over 100 laps. Watch this video for more. But they ended up having some sort of tyre failures, and the Bright-Richards combination ended up getting the win. It would also be the only win ever for Stone Brothers Racing at the Bathurst 1000. Number 8, I'm going to go for 2003. Stephen Ellery once again joins this list, having a bit more miles on the board, but this time doing it for his own team since the year 2000. He has had some impressive results here at the mountain, but in 2003 was the magnum opus of this. Third position was the finishing result. Very good for this small team. Very good considering they finished second in the Sandown 500 as well. And it would be Luke Youlden's first ever podium, a future winner of the race. Number 7, I'm going to go with the 2017 combination of Scott Pye and Warren Luff. Now, Walkinshaw this year was not good. James Courtney finished in the 20s in the championship, coming off very good finishes in the championship from the Holden Racing team. And when they started this race, Warren Luff was the only co-driver to start because it started raining. But he performed just as well as the main drivers, so that really set them up strategic-wise. And they also didn't fall off the road, which helped. And Scott Pye and Warren Luff would get the first of 2 second place finishes in a row. They'll do the same thing in 2018, but this, with the retro Brock livery and the 02 number, cemented themselves for a second place. Number 6, I'm going to go with a bit of a surprising one considering they started on pole position for this race, but Greg Murphy and Alan Simonson. Now, Greg Murphy was in the twilight of his full-time career. He was not getting impressive results on the board until Bathurst. He got the timing right when it came to the shootout because halfway through it started raining, so he ended up being on pole position. He didn't stay there for too long though, unfortunately, but he soldiered through the day, hadn't had any errors whatsoever to finish third with the late great Alan Simonson. Number 4 will be 1997. This is a race of attrition, so much so that the 5th place finisher, John Faulkner and Wyn Percy, they were 7 laps down. High profile drivers and cars and combos would fall out of the race early or later, and it would be the Mark Larkham-Andrew Madiki combination that would end up getting the podium finish out of it all. Now this is a surprise mainly for the fact that Mark Larkham's V8 venture at this point was abysmal. I did a video talking about his horror first season way back when I did that series. I might start it up again, or just a bit quiet on that, maybe. So it was surprising seeing him this far up the order in a supercars race. Number 4 will be the combination of favourite combination and a favourite underdog story. The Jamie Whincup, Jason Richards Tasman Motorsport result of 2005. This is another hard race where a lot of big names really fell out early. I mean, you had the Craig Lowndes drummer with the wheel. Yeah, I mean, the big Perkins car was involved in the accident as well, many others. And it ended up being the Dodo Commodore of Jason Richards battling the mighty Holden Racing team right at the end, even avoiding that big accident between Murphy and Ambrose. But they would end up falling back from scathe and finishing second. It really set Jamie up for what would be another good 3 years in the future. The next one on the list is someone that is retiring this year, but for 2016, they were with the smallest team on the grid, Lucas Dumbrell, and that is the Nick Percat-Cameron McConville combination. Cameron McConville is another one of those legendary drivers that almost won it many times, but unfortunately for whatever reason, couldn't get it done. And Nick Percat, being the rookie winner from 2011, he had a perfect opportunity to win it again. Once again, another case of avoiding all the late race chaos like the winner and the second placer had that year. Third place did the same thing. And who was in third place? The 222 Lucas Dumbrell car. Fantastic story for the smallest team on the grid at the time. Number 2, probably my favourite underdog story on this list, the 01 race, the Brad Jones-John Cleland car. Now Brad Jones Racing to this point was abysmal in V8 supercar competition. They hadn't had any good results, they hadn't had any really good finishes. They started on the front row at Canberra once, but that was because it was the reverse grid race. But after starting way back past the 20s, Brad Jones and John Cleland would nail the setup right, blasting through the pack, avoiding all the hail and the rain and all that sort of stuff, having tremendous speed and finishing second. One of the best underdog stories of the race's history. But number 1, I think it has got to be a 3-way tie between the podium finishers of the 2014 race. I mean, the story of this race has been told a million times. But the finishers of the podium, yes, they have been, but how they got there is very interesting. You've got third place Nick Percat and Oliver Gavin. Oliver, yes, he's a massive sports car name, and Nick he's retiring this year, but the year 2014, he was a rookie, and he just did the stay out of trouble method. James Moffat and Taz Douglas did not do that method. They ended up in the wall at the cutting twice, first early, and then when the red flag came out. Thankfully for them, the red flag did come out so they could repair the front of that Nissan, and it looked something like this. Then you'd have the winner of the race, the Chaz Mostert Paul Morris car. That would start from the back, end in the wall around that red flag point, and from that point just avoid the trouble, be glad that they had an FPR car and had some speed, and ended up having enough fuel, more than Jamie Whincup, to win that race. So, like I said, as I record this is before the 2025 event. Will we see a underdog story or even an underdog winner? If you like this video and you want to see more, give a like and subscribe. The support is very much appreciated. Some of the support of the last few videos has been amazing to see. I have gladly liked to see it. And see me in the next video, whatever that is.